Now we are approaching 20,000 Palestinians killed, 70% of them children and women, and not counting those who are under the rubbles, and more than 50,000 injured, and 2/3 of the buildings in the Gaza Strip destroyed and cannot be used for living in such, facilities. And all the hospitals are almost, cannot function. They're out of work. And also that people do not have food, they do not have water, they don't have medicine. We have so many relatives, we call them and we ask about X or Y and Z, and they say they died, and we say why? Were they killed from bombardment? Some were killed by bombardment, others, they are dying because of lack of medicine, and so on and so forth. The tragedy is so beyond comprehension, so that if they are angry and frustrated, and they curse all of us, beginning with me, I understand, and they are right, and we are wrong. Our duty is to try to save the lives who are still alive by having this resolution adopted and by forcing Israel to comply with it, and those who are shielding Israel to comply with the global consensus calling for a ceasefire. There are many other very important elements that could be added to any resolution. But we will not lose focus from the most important issue, which is demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire now. After last Friday, when we had an unprecedented number of co-sponsors to the draft resolution from outside the Council, 103 countries. Unfortunately, that draft was defeated by casting a veto, in spite of the fact that 13 voted in favor. Immediately after that, we had consultations among the groups co-sponsoring this effort, and decided to send a letter to the President of the General Assembly from the chair of the Arab Group and the chair of the OIC, requesting the resumption of the 10th emergency session. And we are very grateful that the President of the General Assembly cooperated with us very quickly. We also uploaded the draft resolution, which I am sure that you are now have seen it, and we are collecting co-sponsorship to that draft resolution, and then the number is very high. It could very easily, approach the 100. But more importantly is the countries that will vote in favor. So we are in full mobilization mode. The language that is in it, it demands a ceasefire. And that is the language that was used in the Security Council, demanding from anybody from the United Nations, whether the General Assembly or the Security Council, it is much more powerful than calling for, and therefore it should be looked at as binding in that sense. Definitely, if the great majority of the General Assembly demands an immediate humanitarian ceasefire,